Hello, everyone. It's Barb with Halfway to Sane. Hope you're all doing well today. Today, we're going to do a story. We're going to hear about Richard Baldwin, who is a teenage killer who is up for parole. So, over 30 years ago, 16-year-old Richard Baldwin killed 15-year-old cheerleader Beth Brody. In the summer of 1992, Beth and Richard went on a handful of dates, but on November 18th, 1992, Richard told his friend Sky Albert Hall during a phone conversation that he was feeling suicidal because Beth said she wasn't romantically interested in him anymore. Around 4:30 p.m., Richard convinced Sky to bring Beth over to Sky's house so that he could talk to her. Sky went upstairs to allow them some privacy, but eventually Richard told Beth he was going to kill her, and she ran upstairs to find Sky. Richard followed behind her with a metal baseball bat. He asked her if she was scared, and then she said, "I always wanted to be a baseball player." He then asked her if she wanted to turn around or did she want to see what's coming. Sky tried to stop Richard, but Richard just fought him off and killed Beth by striking her in the head several times. Richard left Sky's house and ingested a life-threatening concoction of substances before going to the nearby high school and asking for an ambulance. While there, he admitted to killing Beth to several people as well as the hospital. Richard was arrested soon after, and Sky ran to Beth's house to get her father. He ran to where Beth was and tried to revive her. Her heart rate got slower and slower, and it just stopped, and he tried to breathe life into her, to no avail. Richard was originally arraigned in a juvenile session of the district court, but was later transferred to a superior court where he was tried for murder as an adult. At the trial, Richard's lawyers highlighted that he had come from a dysfunctional family marred by alcoholism and child abuse. They ultimately argued and dismissed a capacity defense which asserts that a defendant should be found guilty of a lesser crime based on them to commit a more serious crime. Both sides brought trial. Skip that. Both sides brought in mental health experts to testify during the trial. The defense's witness asserted that Richard was experiencing a major depressive episode when he killed Beth, while the prosecution's witness claimed Richard did not suffer from mental illness. Now, on April 4th, 1994, an Essex County jury found Richard guilty of first-degree murder. He was given a mandatory sentence of life in prison without parole. The justice system promised Beth's family that he would be in prison without any chance of parole, but due to a 2013 judicial ruling that changed the law, this long-suffering family has been further aggrieved by this convicted murderer who requested parole on Thursday, May 16, 1994. In 2013, the state's highest court ruled that it was unconstitutional for juvenile defendants to receive such a sentence. The basis of the ruling was that the sentence denies young offenders the opportunity for rehabilitation. The Bodie family on April 17, 2024, submitted a letter to the parole board that read, "We, the Brody family, adamantly oppose any consideration of parole for Beth's killer. Our pain and suffering has not subsided since Beth was taken from us. It has, in fact, increased more pain, suffering, and tears for us and Beth's large circle of friends. This is not justice. This is torturous. Beth doesn't get a second chance. Why should he?" The impending threat of parole is re-traumatizing and cannot be mitigated by the mere passing of time. Granting parole would only serve to undermine justice and disregard the severity of the crime committed. Releasing this offender would, without doubt, pose a continued threat to society. We urge the parole board to uphold the original sentencing and deny any request for parole. At the hearing, Beth's sister said, being in the same space, I mean, it's been 30 years since we've seen him or listened to him. It's going to be one of the hardest things I've ever done. Carrie Bertrand, a man who was on the jury, said he does not want Richard Baldwin free. He said he feels outraged, and he said the jury was comfortable with the decision they made by putting him away for life with no parole. Carrie said the facts of Beth's murder still haunt him. He brought the bat out. He asked Beth to her face, "Do you want to turn around for this?" And he just took a full swing right into her face. We had to look at the pictures. From the evidence I saw, I don't want him out on the streets. It's not right. It's not fair. And I think people would be in danger. Beth's brother Sean said the family was dealt a broken promise. He was sentenced to life, and we didn't have to think about him at all. He didn't deserve any of our thoughts, and he still doesn't. But here we are, ready to face parole, and he thinks for some reason he should walk free. After the hearing, the board takes numerous factors into consideration, such as Richard's behavior in prison, Beth's family's preference, and whether Richard would be a danger to society outside of prison. They then vote whether to release him or keep him in prison. It could take weeks or even months before the board makes a decision. If the board grants parole, it will impose conditions and rules for his release. If it does not, then by law it must again consider releasing him in 5 years. If he gets out of prison, he can continue the rest of his life, get married, have kids, and Beth was denied all of that. He should never have a chance to enjoy the rest of his life. Well, that's all for you guys. I know it was a short story, but I appreciate you stopping by. And if you would do me a favor and hit that thumbs up and that notification bell so that you get notified that the next time that I upload a video, and if you would please consider subscribing to my channel so that I can grow. I really appreciate your time. Till next time, peace.